I think Blizzard is just allergic to taking W's. They're just allergic to taking W's, they're allergic to getting money, and this is a big proponent of that. Overwatch 2 PvE is officially cancelled. Oh my god, bro. Like, okay, so to further add to this, this little tweet came out from that was my response down there, but this tweet came out from Overwatch Calvary, and it says hashtag Overwatch 2 PvE content has reportedly been scrapped. Developers were informed that the company does not plan to finish any of the remaining planned PvE content and will instead I should be fuming right now, but we'll get into that when we start watching the video, and we'll instead double down on competitive player versus player gameplay. Oh boy, says told source Jason Schreier. Oh, future Overwatch 2 PvE content scrapped. Oh, and there's this whole article by Bloomberg. Okay, so my response was, great to see them give former players like myself a reason to never return. To never return. Hopefully another team-based shooter with a PvE mode in the style of what we were promised for Overwatch will come down the pipeline at some point. And frankly, I feel like we would definitely need something like that. I mean, dude, where is Battleborn when we need it? Can 2K resurrect Battleborn for us? Like, yeah, just bring back Battleborn, give it a PvE mode that's similar to, you know, what they promised us for Overwatch 2, and just let us have that. Let us have at it. If not, they could definitely another studio could definitely cook up something similar to Overwatch 2 and just give it the promised PvE mode and let us have it. And let's have at it. That's something we should definitely get in the future. Will we ever get it? Probably not. But you know what? It's not out of the realm of possibility. Maybe a pipe dream. But hey, it's something. It's something. I'm just trying to remain optimistic in the face of this. In the face of all of this, cause yeah, this sucks, bro. If I was streaming back when like the initial PvE was scraps, oh my god, dude, I would have. Let's just say I probably wouldn't be on Twitch today, cause you know the things I would say would definitely get me terminated indefinitely. Quite frankly, you know, I don't think it would be worth it. But, you know, if you want to watch these Overwatch 2 videos that I have, again, posted 4, these are them, have at it. Yeah. Also, yeah, please subscribe, because you know, 99.9% of the people who watch my content are not subscribed to my channel. But yeah, that being said, oh boy, and this is by, yeah, Stylosa. Big Overwatch content creator back in the day. Still is. Here we go.
Developers have received 0% of profit sharing. PvE is essentially cancelled, and quite a lot more to cover in this video. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. What we're going to do is break down this article from Jason Schreier, which is behind the scenes on Overwatch 2. So let's just get stuck into this. You can see this is what he says. The headline details are: new behind the scenes on Overwatch 2. Devs got a stunning 0% of profit sharing bonuses this month. And I'll explain. Well, the article will explain why this is crucial.
Yeah. Okay. So good that the article is going to explain, because I don't necessarily know too much in depth of like the profit sharing thing. All I do know is, you know, no more PvE. But you know, there's optimism for the game's competitive future, which, bro, okay. If you wanted to have the game's competitive future be intact, guess what? You should have just kept around Overwatch 1. In hindsight, I should have known that the PvE would never come out, or like the promised one would never come out, and they would. Okay, I had no idea that they would charge us like $15 for like half-baked horse manure, but yeah, but if they wanted to keep the game's optimistic, competitive future, they should have just stuck with Overwatch 1. Like, that's all they should have done. Bro, okay. This has been explained multiple times by other content creators, but I'm gonna reaffirm it. The only reason, one of the main reasons why they made Overwatch 2 and they abandoned Overwatch 1 was because they had to change their monetization model. If they wanted Overwatch to be played in like numerous countries, they couldn't keep loot boxes. Like this, and that's a lot of like the EU countries. Like I think Belgium, Netherlands, I think Germany too. Those are three that I know that have like banned loot boxes. I don't really know about Germany, but I know Belgium and the Netherlands. If you know a game releases with a loot box system, that is a big no-go. I think a way to circumvent that is if loot boxes are earned in game, number one, and you can't buy them, because I'm pretty sure, you know, the Division 2 is you're still able to play that in like you're still able to buy that in Germany and the Netherlands and, you know, Belgium. But yeah, well, what I was getting at with the Division 2 thing is there are cosmetics that you could buy that come in the form of loot boxes, but a lot of them aren't skill based. You know, similarly to Overwatch, but I think that it's a whole complicated thing, but I don't know. I don't really know that much. Let's just continue on, because we are only 32 seconds in. So I want to try to get through this, so yeah, let's just continue.
As we get into it, no more PvE, but there's optimism for the game's competitive future. And then this is the newsletter for the week, which we're going to read in a second. He does then go on to plug his upcoming book, which I am looking forward to this, because it's like a behind-the-scenes look at what went wrong at Blizzard.
I don't necessarily read. And I think a lot of people that watch my videos don't read either. That could be completely false, and I didn't mean to throw shade, but it's I'm just trying to. Do you guys actually read, like, in the comments below? Because you know, I don't really have much of a live chat going on right now. But in the comments below, please. Do you guys read? Because I don't. Unless you know it's an online article, but I won't read it out loud. Ugh, oh god, allergies are killing me again. Let's just continue on. I might have to mute at some point.
And he says, at Blizzard, profit sharing is a crucial part of the compensation process because base salaries aren't as high as competitors. This bonus system caused a years-long battle between Blizzard and Activision that you'll be able to read about in my book, which is Play Nice, The Rise and Fall of Blizzard Entertainment. Okay, so let's jump over to the article and let me just fire this up.
Alrighty.
Okay, this is the article. It is Blizzard make big changes as Overwatch 2 struggles. Cratering internal bonuses for the game's staff reflect the precarious position of the Overwatch sequel. So Overwatch 2 has not lived up to the lofty financial successes of its predecessor. Okay. Hi everyone. Today,
real quick, I want to say this because this is actually something that I've been thinking of, and it's kind of been grinding my gears a bit. Okay, let's just say this. If Blizzard, by extension Activision, you know, Activision Blizzard, if they went ahead with the original plan and they released the actual plan PvE, they could have sold it and it would have blown Overwatch 1 out of the water in terms of you know, how much money the game made. Like, let's be honest, like, everybody would buy. Everybody would buy what was advertised. I would buy it. Shoot, like, dude, the fact that they prioritized the live PvE game when the game was, promised to have this massive, player versus environment or player versus enemy sort of like mode to it. The fact that it was promised to have that, and like, not only did they not deliver, but it kind of circles back to like deceptive marketing, because they didn't provide what they promised in the actual like trailers and the actual material leading up to the release of the game. I mean, like, sure, maybe it would have, they could have released it like months down the line after, the early release of PvP. Yeah, sure. But they didn't do that. So, yeah, therein lies the problem. Like, they prioritized the live game, and they dropped the bag. They dropped the proverbial bag. And that bag was massive, dude. It was massive. Like, the fact that they missed that opportunity because they wanted the money now, or they wanted the money like ASAP, is just, it's wild to me, man.
We're looking at the business of Blizzard Entertainment's big first-person shooter. But first, and then goes on to plug some news we can go and read, but we're only interested in Overwatch here, so let's break this down. Overwatch in trouble. This week, video game titan Blizzard Entertainment changed the business model for shooter Overwatch 2, decoupling the game's heroes from the paid battle pass. The seemingly drastic move led to players and observers to ask, is Overwatch 2 a failure? Here's news that might offer some insight. Twice a year, why won't it let me select this? There we go. Twice a year, Blizzard employees or employees at Blizzard receive bonus checks based on the financial success of their products. Each employee is given a target number and informed that they will receive a percentage contingent upon the company hitting its profits goals for the year. These profit sharing bonuses are an important part of Blizzard's compensation packages. For decades, prospective employees have been told that while the company does not pay base salaries as high as nearby competitors such as Riot Games, they make up for it through profit sharing from lucrative hits like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's something. That's a whole bunch of like internal business jargon that I don't necessarily understand, because you know me, I barely graduated high school, and I only did one semester of college. I don't really know this much about, how companies operate from the inside. Like, I don't really know about like profits sharing, like, things like that. I don't really know all that stuff, so a lot of this is probably just gonna be lost on me. I'm just here to share my piece about because dude, like, going back to Overwatch 2, I was so hyped for PvE, man. Like, the original idea for it. It was so great when I saw the trailer. And the fact that it got canceled, it's wild, man. It's absolutely wild. I just can't stop prefacing that it's wild that they didn't actually, that they missed, this was such a missed opportunity, man.
Bonuses at Blizzard usually arrive in two chunks, one in August for the first half of the year and one in March for the second half of the previous year. In August 2023, Overwatch 2 team members were told that based on the game's poor financial performance in the first half of the year, they shouldn't have received anything. According to people familiar with what happened, who asked not to be named discussing non-public information, but that the company would cover some of their bonuses to make up for the shortfall. Then, earlier this month, the company informed developers that they would receive a stunning 0% of their bonus targets.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough right there. Yikes. Okay. But yeah, I will say my piece on, the game's poor financial performance. It really didn't help that, it really didn't help that legendary skins were like $50+, dude. Like, you could get a AA or like AAA game, a AAA game on sale for that much money, and they were pricing skins out the wazoo like crazy, man. Oh my god, it didn't help. It really didn't help their like financial state whatsoever. Because like sensible people necessarily wouldn't pay like a fortune to get a cool looking skin or like a few trinkets for a weapon or whatnot, or an emote or something like that. Sensible people wouldn't necessarily do that, but again, in my opinion, I don't really. This is a big dig at the Overwatch player base, but I don't think the most sensible people play Overwatch. At least play Overwatch anymore. That's just my opinion. That's a hot take of mine. Maybe there are some people that are sane-minded that still play that game. If you still are, I gotta ask, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why are you contributing to a lie? To something that was falsely advertised? Why are you continuing to do that? Just stop, man.
Wow. Okay. So I'm trying to get my head through this, because if we look at it, so twice a year, employees at Blizzard receive bonus checks based on financial success of their products. Each employee is given a target number. Okay. And these are for the previous period. Bonuses at Blizzard usually arrive in two chunks, one in August for the first half of the year and one in March for the second of the previous year. This is what I'm worried about. Didn't the Seraphim come out at the previous, like the second half of last year? So that would be included.
Oh, yeah, the collab. I forgot. I didn't, because when that collab came out, that was when I wasn't really playing the game. I heard about it nonstop on like Twitter, because good lord, like I was still following the Overwatch account at the time. I'm not anymore, because like I don't want to support that project. I don't want to give my support for that project anymore. Let's be honest, like the one thing I was hyped about was taken away, and yeah. But yeah, shouldn't that have like boosted the? I don't know. Again, I don't really know about the whole financial situation going on over there. But shouldn't that have helped them in some way, shape, or form? I don't know.
Included in March's bonuses. So if they're paying no bonuses, are they saying the Seraphim didn't actually make them money when everybody thinks that this made them mega bang? What's going on here? This is odd.
If they did this when K-pop was actually, blowing up, like back in like 2019, 2020, if they did it then for Overwatch 1, yeah, sure, that probably would have actually boosted, their sales, like boosted engagement for Overwatch. But I think like with that, it's kind of like hopping on the trend a bit too late. To me, I know a lot about that because I hop on things way too late, and then they're like, and then people are like, why are you giving your input? This happened like weeks ago. But that's a me thing. Let's just continue on.
It's really odd. Failing to get any profit share bonus is rare at Blizzard and is the result of a major policy change that was enacted in 2023. Previously, employees would receive bonuses based on the overall performance of the company. But last summer, these payouts became tied to the performance of each specific franchise, since their titles were more successful in 2023. Teams on games such as Diablo and World of Warcraft received bonuses, but Overwatch developers weren't so lucky. So this is a brutal change to the way Blizzard operates. So you've got to remember, they've got lower salaries anyway. Blizzard have got a return to office policy as well. So if you're working in Irvine, it's extremely expensive to live there. Believe you me, it is mega expensive. So your base salary is low anyway compared to what you get from competitors. Doesn't matter though, because it's going to get made up with a profit share, which is there to make the developers, I guess, make a better game in some ways.
So the Overwatch devs get paid less than Diablo and World of Warcraft devs. Damn. Like that sucks. Oh my god. Oh, dude, that actually sucks. Bro, I wonder if if there were still like developers for StarCraft. I wonder what their payment would be like. Like, oh my god. I wonder like what they're getting paid. Probably pennies, dude. Oh my god. That is if that is if well, oh, not Overwatch. StarCraft is still being worked on, but they cut support for it. So, yeah. Nobody's really losing out with that.
Obviously, it's a lot more complicated than that because of the way things are monetized and all that stuff. But then for them to turn around and go, actually, you're not getting your profit share. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do depend on this, and this is built into like them being able to pay their rent and stuff like that. So this is like horrendous. But I suppose on like a purely cold and calculated sort of business level, you could say, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it, to tie it to each franchise rather than the whole company in a cold-hearted, callous way. It doesn't. The company's one unit, surely, so it should just all be banded together. Because then surely you would have a situation where people are like, nah, F that, I don't want to work on Overwatch, I want to go and work on World of Warcraft because I'm going to get my bonus.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I feel like if you're a Blizzard dev and you're working on like Overwatch as opposed to either of the other two projects, yeah, you're at a net loss, honestly. I hate to say it. Doesn't seem worth it. Doesn't seem like worthwhile to still work on that game. Not gonna lie, I don't know what the future generally looks like for Overwatch 2, but oh dear god, man. I feel like they're trying to kill the game, honestly, at this point. That's what I feel like they're trying to do. Like, they're trying to actually kill the game. But maybe one day we'll get that announcement for Overwatch 3. Maybe one day. And on that day, hope will return and subsequently die in the next few months. Oh boy.
This policy change was the culmination of a decade-long battle between Blizzard and its parent company, Activision Blizzard. Leadership at Blizzard, including former presidents Mike Morhaime and J. Allen Brack, fought for the bonuses to be shared company-wide because they believed that otherwise everyone would want to work on the most successful games rather than experiment with new ideas, which is exactly right. This just curtails like innovation, doesn't it? What a stupid policy.
Yeah.
Activision's leadership, driven by former Chief Executive Officer Bobby, argued that those behind the most lucrative products should be rewarded the most. Of course they would, because that's Bobby's mentality.
Yeah, to be frank, I think we're all glad that, Mr. Kotick is no longer CEO of Activision Blizzard. Thank God. But yeah, still not good. Not a good situation.
It is one of several points of tension that led to a deterioration in the relationship between Blizzard and Activision. As I document in my upcoming book, Play Nice, The Rise and Fall of Blizzard Entertainment, last year, Kotick finally got his way just ahead of Microsoft's acquisition of the company for $69 billion. So you've got to ask yourself, why would Bobby even care at that point? He knows he's selling the company. Why would he care? He's like, it's crazed, isn't it? Oh, my days.
Like, on the topic of the Microsoft acquisition, I don't necessarily know what they're going to... Hopefully, they step in at some point before a lot of these, Blizzard games end up biting the dust. Because I feel like without actual intervention from Microsoft, yeah, these games won't have a bright future necessarily. Especially Overwatch. I mean, Diablo 4 was recently added to Game Pass, so as opposed to paying $60 for it, you could... Is it still 60? I think it might be 70 now that I think about it. As opposed to paying $70, you could just, get Game Pass Ultimate for I think it's $17 for 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. You get Game Pass Ultimate, and you could get Diablo 4 for essentially free after that. Well, not for free, for $17, along with the entire catalog of Game Pass games. So yeah, not too terrible, but at the same time, I feel like Microsoft could be doing more to actually help these Blizzard games out, especially Overwatch 2, because oh boy, I feel like that Overwatch 2 definitely needs it, man.
Anyway,
definitely needs it.
Blizzard's new president, Johanna Faries, who came from Activision, has told employees that she's looking into the details of the profit-sharing plan, as well as other unpopular policies involving stack ranking and remote work, but has not made any decisions yet as she settles into a new role. Okay. So at least the new boss is sort of looking at it, but yeah. Nothing has been sort of said in just yet. Anyway, the lack of payout reflects the precarious position the Overwatch 2 sequel, which came out in 2022 to mixed reviews. Overwatch 2 was the follow-up to one of the most successful games of all time. And although it originally pitched with a focus on PvE, player versus environment, or battles against computer-controlled enemies, it has since scaled back on that vision.
PvE was the main focus of Overwatch 2. It was what the game was primarily centered on. PvP would still be present in the game, but it wouldn't be the main focus, so to speak. It wouldn't be the main thing that they focused on. That would be the PvE, which was supposed to be a mix of not Left 4 Dead. I was thinking Dead by Daylight, but no, that's not right. Yeah, Left 4 Dead and I think a few other games. I don't really remember. I don't necessarily remember what it was supposed to be a mix of, but yeah, it was. Overwatch 2 was initially supposed to be focused on PvE, but unfortunately, there was a massive change of plans. A lot of people left. And people were working hard on something that unfortunately never came out. You want to know the worst part about the PvE cancellation, the initial one back last year? The worst part about that was In the April Fool's update for the game, there were pieces of like what was promised in PvE in the game at that time. Yeah, a lot of what was in a lot of what was in in the planned PvE ended up making it into the April Fool's update. And yeah, that just when I first heard about that, I was like, you motherfucker. I mean, I was livid, dude. I was livid. Let's be honest.
While its predecessor was sold as a boxed product, Overwatch 2 is free to play, which led to business challenges at Blizzard. Blizzard tried to figure out how to convince players to spend money on character outfits and other perks.
And they did do that. They did do that. But you had to pay $50 to get a legendary skin. How convenient. And if you wanted trinkets, you better shell out $5 to $10 because those aren't cheap either. Oh my god, dude! I can't understand why they would ever do something. Why they would ever mess with a game this much to the point where, oh my god, bro. Worst part about it is, I couldn't even play the game day one. I couldn't even play Overwatch 2 day one because, the queue time, there were like long queue times. God, when I was close to actually getting into the game, there was an error message and like would get thrown back to like waiting in queue, and and essentially it was just a repeat of that cycle till I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll come back tomorrow. I'll play the game then. But yeah, it was crazy because I guarantee you, like, the only thing that worked that day, and I wasn't there to verify, but I'm pretty sure the only thing that worked, like the day the game launched, was the shop. And on the gameplay side, they had to remove three characters that were in the first game. They removed Bastion, Torb, and I forget the other one. Oh shoot, man, it's insane, bro.
Last year, Overwatch 2 received a paid pack of 3 PvE story missions that sold poorly, according to people familiar with the business.
Yeah, I wonder why they sold poorly. Could it be because they were chopped down, watered down version of something that we should have gotten the full experience of? Yeah, they were part of something much bigger. They were part of like the main focus of the game. They were part of. Oh my god! I swear to God, I'm gonna rage, dude. It's bringing back the feelings from last year, and I don't want that to happen. Oh, dude, I swear, dude, this is just. Okay, I'm just gonna continue on before I actually get canceled. Like, dude, I thought we'd get canceled for the video I posted yesterday. I might get canceled now because I might say something that will actually get me canceled. Oh boy. This is not a great start. This is not a great, intro to the stream so far. To be fair, we're over an hour in, so we'll be fine.
Which was a major reason for the cratering bonuses. In January, as part of a company-wide reduction in its workforce, the majority of the team behind Overwatch 2's PvE was laid off. Now, obviously this didn't do well. It was not good. I mean, I cannot sit here and go, oh, well, no, it should have sold well. It was not good. It was not a good experience. You cannot.
they were essentially, they just released glorified freaking archives missions. If you don't know about the archives event, that was like something that happened in Overwatch 1. And yeah, it was essentially like they essentially just sold 3 archives missions for like $15. That was the PvE experience, and we're not getting more. Oh my god, bro. Like it's nuts to think about, cuz I held out hope that maybe just maybe they would walk this back. Like they would walk back the initial cancellation. They'd be like, "Look, clearly selling these missions, these watered down missions for $15 wasn't going to work. We're gonna redouble our efforts, and we're gonna try to continue where we left off with the PvE that we scrapped a few months back." I thought that's what they would do. Like I didn't think it, but I held out so much hope that they would walk it back and that they would actually deliver what they promised. Turns out, I think it was yesterday where, nope. They're canceling the rest of the PvE stuff. They're focusing on the live game again. It's all about competitive. It's all about the competitive culture. Sorry about that. God. Oh, this is draining my life away, bro.
Not blame the individual developers for that. I mean, it's whoever is in charge of the vision, the direction of that is to blame. We've seen comments recently where people were saying stuff like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You know, things will be fine. It'll be great. We'll keep working on this. Don't worry about it." Yeah, I mean, obviously, no. Anybody with, any sort of external perspective would have looked at the PvE and thought, this is dated. This is not a great experience. And is it really Overwatch? What have we got here? And it just wasn't. So it doesn't really come as a surprise that it sold poorly. I think what is sad is we won't ever really get the...
Again, I will say this. They were glorified archives events that were worth $15 apparently, which I would not pay. You cannot catch me paying $15 for what they gave. Bro, I saw a video of some guy that actually played through those 3 missions, and I felt bad that he had to spend $15 because, like, dude. And what could have been in the free update, they decided to add a $15 price tag, and they just said, Here you go. You just spend $15. Go get it. I can't understand. I can't understand why they... I can't understand it. Money. That's what it all was. It was for money. And guess what? Barely anybody paid for it. Oh my god. Yeah, barely anybody paid for this. Nobody wanted it. Oh my god. The downfall of this game genuinely needs to be studied for future generations, because holy crap, man. Holy crap. This is bad. This is real bad.
The sort of chance to see where it could have gone. But it's basically done now. It's gone. PvE is just consigned to the history of Overwatch as a game. PvP game now, so we need to just forget about PvE. I still think it is cool, though, it's not cool for the people involved, but it's interesting.
Just call it Overwatch again, and just add back 6v6. Like, that's the most you can do. Like, that is genuinely the most you could do, because holy crap, man. It's not Overwatch 2 anymore. Like, you just downgraded the game past what the first game was. You removed the player from each of the teams, and you chopped out a lot of the actually good features. Like, there's no post-game cards anymore. They removed the on fire system, but they patched it back in. Oh my god. uh Look how they massacred my boy. Look how they massacred Overwatch. Oh my god. They massacred this game. And there's no fixing it. You can't. How can you fix this? There's no way you could fix. There's no conceivable way that this could be fixed. I'm sorry. I'm just telling the truth. It's over. It's done.
To sort of dissect how we got here, because it is it's fascinating, really fascinating story, to be honest, and in a lot of like sad ways. Anyway, Overwatch 2 developers were informed that the company does not plan to finish any of the remaining planned PvE content and will instead double down on competitive player versus player gameplay. Again, this comes as no.
Oh, god damn it, man. God damn, dude. Oh my god. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know what else to say, man. How much do we have left? Oh my, yeah. Okay, like this is, bro. From a promise that was too good to be true, to the ultimate deception, to them finally just like putting the bullet through the brain, and just, oh god, man, this was so easy to get right too. I feel like this was genuinely so easy to get right. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't pull resources together and actually get this right. Bro, it is tragic, bro. Like, for real. I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. It's just, why? Just why?
No surprise, but basically PvE is officially gone from Overwatch 2. It is not a thing that we're going to get in the game ever. In a statement, Blizzard spokesman Andrew Reynolds said that last year the company began focusing on the foundational team-based experience, building the game alongside our players and more quickly addressing their feedback, which they have done, to be fair. Look at the Mauga hotfix which hit the game recently. That was really fast, and they are working well in that regard. Decisions like these are in service to our community and based on the feedback, which is also good for our business and the future of the game. He said, adding that the game is on.
What future for there's no future for this game. Like, literally, there's no future for this game. The only people that are going to play this game are diehard, like, Activision Blizzard bootlickers. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry if I'm offending people when I say that, but that's just the case. That's just the case. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. How about this? I'm not sorry. Stop playing this game. Stop giving this game, this company, support. Like, they actively prove that they don't deserve your support. They don't deserve your praise. Like, just leave this game in the past. Just let it die, man. I swear, I just... the fact that there are still people, like, openly defending this game, even though like, everybody knows that we got screwed over, people are still actively defending this game, actively defending Blizzard for, like, God knows whatever reason. Like, Do you think this company gives a damn about you? You're freaking delusional if you think that. Like, stop letting them feed you these delusions. For the love of God, just think for yourself. For once. Oh my God, it's wild, man. It's absolutely wild.
On track to reach 100 million lifetime players, and that they are exploring new experiences, big and small, which will push the frontiers of the Overwatch universe. Okay. Despite the game's shaky performance so far, there is optimism among some members of the Overwatch 2 team that this refocus on PvP will lead to a turnaround, although Blizzard will need to ensure that the missing bonuses and low morale don't drive away key staff before then. I mean, this is a problem they've had a lot for a hell of a long time, really, Blizzard. Like, they're losing a lot of, I guess I can say it this way, but institutionalized talent. There's pros and cons to that, but basically...
Yeah, and they're filling those positions with people that have little to no experience, that, you know, haven't actually any sort of drive for a certain project or whatever. And yeah, a lot of these people that they bring in are like green, essentially. And what I mean by green is, you know, little to no experience in the field, essentially. These people are newbies, pretty much. This is probably the first, like, bring those people that are like just freshly brought in it's probably their first time working on like a project, something that's not tied to, you know, Unreal or whatnot. Like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, a lot of these people are just not as experienced, are not as talented as the people that leave. And that creates a whole new problem. But yeah, that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
You're losing a lot of experience. You know, imagine losing somebody who had integral knowledge to maybe the way the Overwatch engine works or how to implement a certain thing. Maybe like, I don't know, console certification, you know, or something like that, right? Imagine there was something like that which was integral to the game, and then you just lose it, and you can't replace that.
Yeah. So okay. So this is like the same problem that Halo Infinite had, or like 343 had with Halo Infinite. They got rid of, like, 343 got rid of so many people, like, that pretty much created the slip space engine. Because Halo Infinite moved from Blam, which, you know, was what the older games used, and they moved to slip space, which is something that they essentially created. I'm not really sure who created the Blam engine, but that's what the older games used. And pretty much 343, over the course of like Halo Infinite's, you know, life cycle, 343 got rid of so many people. And the thing is, those people were the only people that knew how the slip space engine worked. And the people that they brought in after knew nothing about the engine. They knew nothing about how the slip space engine works, how to actually, you know, create things with it, how to do any of the stuff with it. So yeah, like, with that, content slowed down, you know, things were done at a snail's pace, and unfortunately the game is still suffering because of that. Thankfully, they're moving over to Unreal Engine 5, which I don't know when that's going to happen, and I don't know what that's going to look like. But that means, you know, the game will actually be getting a lot more consistent updates. You know, things like new weapons, new maps, you know, new pieces of armor. Which, to be honest, they've been putting out armor as cosmetics, but, you know, we're going to see a lot more coming from Halo Infinite because, you know, they're moving away from slip space, which essentially nobody knows how to actually use anymore. Like, the people that they brought in knew nothing, literally not a thing about the Slipspace engine. The only people that did were the people that created it, and the people that created it were thrown out the door. This is it's the exact same thing that, that's going on with Overwatch 2, where, you have a lot of people that focus on core, that, you have a lot of key stuff that focus on core aspects of this game, and, they get removed, and you bring in new people who don't really necessarily understand what it is that makes a certain aspect the way it is. And yeah, that creates a whole bunch of problems. So yeah, I don't know, it's just very reminiscent of that. I just had to bring it up. Let's just finish this out.
Takes years. Even if you find an incredible developer that you want to bring on board and go, you know what, we're going to bring these people on board and they're going to be fantastic. Yeah, but it takes time for them to get up to speed. It's just years of lost stuff. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. Like, PvE is finished now. There is no PvE for Overwatch. It's just a PvP game. It's a free-to-play PvP game with
07. Let's get some 07s, even though I'm the only one here. You know what? Screw it. I'll type it in. I have chat pulled up. They're gonna do an 07. Give me a second. There you go. Yeah, that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. That's unfortunately the way it goes. It was fun while it lasted, guys. Had some great memories with Overwatch 1. Enjoyed Overwatch 2 mildly. And yeah. Game is dead. Overwatch, it's dead. It's finished. No more.
A much better battle pass coming online and much better monetization coming online in Season 10. Yeah, I know they're introducing a new currency. Everyone loves that. More bloody currencies.
Okay, question about this new currency. Can you earn it in-game? And how much do you actually earn in-game? It's not going to draw me back into the game. Like, nothing will at this point, but can you actually get this currency in-game? How much do you get? And can it be used to actually... And can it be accumulated in high enough... And, high enough instances to actually get what you want to get in the shop? Those are the things that I need. Those are the things that I would want to know, but, I don't really care about this game anymore. It's done. It's done for me. It's donezo, boys.
And they're hoping that the Mythic Store will, I guess, bulk up the game. I think the interesting thing for me is, like, what happens now with the game. Yes, it's got a collaboration running at the moment for Cowboy Bebop. Will that be a financial success? Will that mean the developers will get their money in their bonuses?
Well, I mean, One Punch Man did a collab, and that didn't really do much. So, with this collab, I don't necessarily think so. They could do as many collabs as they want, but, it's not going to bring in as much money as what the original PvE concept would have brought in. Just my opinion. Might not be right, but, it is what it is.
Will whatever comes later on this year, will that also assist with that? Is that the way they're going to monetize the game? See, the issue is, if the developers are not getting paid properly and they're not getting the bonuses that I think a lot of them do rely on, they're just like, I want out of this now. I need to go somewhere else. Maybe they move within Blizzard, try and get to a game team that prints money like World of Warcraft, or maybe they're like, no, I need to just get out of here completely. And they could be integral members of the team.
Yeah, they could just leave Blizzard, honestly. I mean, there are tons of other companies. There's Riot, there's Epic Games, there's 343, which I don't know if anybody would actually want to go work over there. Yeah, like, you get what I'm saying. There's, Xbox Game Studios. There's a whole bunch of studios that these people can move to. Like, if Blizzard doesn't start picking up the slack and actually doing a lot better than they should be, yeah, you can see a lot of these people actually say, you know what, I ain't gonna stay here anymore. I'm done. I'm leaving for a different company. And that's the way it goes. That is just the way of the world, my friends.
Which would be super worrying. All right, guys, we're going to leave it at that. So, yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. But I think the big key takeaway here is PvE's gone from Overwatch.
Yep.
But is that a shock? Probably not. And the developers are still not getting paid properly.
It shouldn't be a shock.
Typical Blizzard. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like below, subscribe to the channel, comment, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad necessarily. Like, I never necessarily thought that the whole issue that, you know, like there were a whole bunch of other issues in the back. I mean, I'm not necessarily too shocked by it because, again, it's Blizzard, but yeah, not a great situation. That is really rough. Here's the video. But yeah, so yeah, Overwatch PvE is dead. And at this point, I think we should just officially let Overwatch 2 go. Let Overwatch 2 go. Let it die. It's over. It's pretty much, it's donezo, as I said before.